Hello. Mic check. I think this is working. Hey guys. Welcome to the Celeste 80% tournament. This is a little ad hoc commentary, just heading up. It's going to be between akbiggs and Starcrunsher. Good times coming up. Oh wow, look at all those folks in chat. Hey folks. So this is something we just set up on the fly. It's not the usual type of commentary stream, so hopefully it works out without too much like syncing issues or anything like that. And feel free to just let me know in chat if something seems wrong. So just to make sure that the players aren't cheating, they give each other names to use for the race. So it looks like these players have named each other Yuka and Captain. And just to mention, we have akbiggs on top here, and we have Starcrunsher on the bottom. So not so sure how familiar you guys are with Celeste, but it is a precision platformer game. Came out in 2018. It's a very fun game, really good. The soundtrack is incredible. The movement feels really good. It also was designed from the ground up to be a speed game. To be fun for speedrunners. It has a really active community right now, especially with this tournament going on, and it's really cool. A lot of people are getting PBs in these tournament races, and we might see that from these runners too. We'll see. Starcrunsher does have a PB of 35:12, and AK has a PB of 38:18. Starcrunsher coming into this race with a little bit of an advantage, but you know, you never know how these things will go. And I think we're going to see these racers get started in just a moment. And they're off. Alright, so let's see. It looks like Starcrunsher has a bit of a head start here. It doesn't actually matter because we use in-game time to determine who the winner is. So the prologue, basically, you can't dash yet, so it's just a lot of hopping and grabbing. Just to teach you the basic mechanics of the game. The reason I see these players hop around so much is because each hop saves about 2 frames. And the bird teaching Starcrunsher how to dash. Alright. And we're going to get started right away in the Forsaken City, Chapter 1. Shortest chapter in the game, but it shows off a lot of the speed tech that's going to be used. So, right off the bat, we're going to see some dash jumps. Oh, maybe not yet. But you can dash and jump for some extra speed and height. You can dash up against a wall and jump for a big vertical boost. You can crouch and dash along the ground and then jump for a really fast horizontal kind of low RPM jump speed boost. These are all purely advanced mechanics. A lot of them it doesn't teach you until much later in the bonus levels of the game, but the speedrunners can use it starting right off the bat. Alright, so we've got these traffic blocks that move along a certain path. We have these crumbling ice blocks. Starcrunsher just did an extended hyper dash to get really far along horizontally and then still have a dash at the end. Very cool. akbiggs starting to come behind a little bit. Oh wow, nice save managing to just grab that ice block above. akbiggs with a wave hyper dash, skipping, you haven't used that zipper. Very cool. And then here's another chasm on AK's screen here where you normally have to use the momentum of that zipper block in order to get across the chasm, but he could just do it with an extended hyper dash. I'm being asked to turn up my mic. I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna turn down the game sound instead. Let me know if you can still hear everything, okay? Is this any better? My mic is already on max, so the only way I really have to do it is to lower the volume of the other stuff. Alright, so Starcrunsher happens to have a bit of a head start here in Chapter 2. He just activated the Dream Blocks, very fun mechanic. Basically you dash through them, and they're like kind of this liquid space jelly thing. You just go shoofing along through them. The only really real risk with the Dream Blocks is running into a wall at the end, which will kill you. And now Starcrunsher, oh, okay, so AK also has just activated the Dream Blocks. Starcrunsher is now being chased by Battlein, so there's a little chasing here, sort of like a Shadow Rayman, if you've played those games, or apparently there's a Mario game with a similar mechanic, but she'll follow exactly what you're doing behind you on about a 3-second delay. So you gotta just get in front of her, don't backtrack too much. Here, Starcrunsher has to backtrack here after opening that door. He did that just fine. Very long room here for Star, where he has to navigate this whole thing. If you die in any room in this game, you get sent right back to the beginning of the screen, so these very long screens can be very painful if you die in them, so definitely a big time loss there. If you, but he got through it just fine. akbiggs making his way through the Battlein fight right now, a few screens from finishing. We'll see how he does it. Starcrunsher now in a very technical movement section. No lethal danger here. Just having to get through this terrain as quickly as possible without getting caught up on anything. Fairly decent movement from him. Got caught on that spring and a couple of bits of terrain. Ooh, very unfortunate death there from akbiggs at the end of that long room. As I was saying before, the longer it takes to get through a room, the more punishing it is if you die. Let's see if he can do that better this time. Okay, good. He got that jump he wanted. And now he's through with the fight as well. Alright, AK now starting Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is first, I guess you could call it it's a pretty big difficulty spike in this game. There are going to be cycles with the dust bunnies moving back and forth or in circles, and getting through those cycles without dying and moving as quickly as possible can be pretty challenging. Nice little bottom route there, grabbing the berry. Berries are pointless in any percent runs, but sometimes it's faster to go that route. Grabs that key. Alright, and akbiggs just finishing now up with Chapter 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like akbiggs' live split actually started properly, and I can't see what his in-game time is. Oh, there it is. Okay, fine. So I'll be able to use that to track his progress compared to his PB. akbiggs definitely behind here. It's worth noting though that his in-game clock is a good deal behind Starcruncher's clock, so the lead that Starcruncher has isn't quite as big as it looks. Starcruncher weaving through those columns and now entering the big mess. You might notice sometimes these players are skipping cutscenes. Every cutscene in this game can be skipped. Very nice for speedrunners. Sometimes that's a little tricky because the inputs to retry a room, like to kill yourself and retry, are the same inputs to skip a cutscene. So if you don't hit that cutscene trigger before you try to restart, you'll end up killing yourself and losing time. So there's a bit of a risk there. I should have explained, Starcruncher was just in the big mess room, huge mess, so there are 3 sections of the hotel now he has to go through in the Celestial Resort to clean up that huge mess and get the key to continue. It looks like he did a little spike jump there. That's cool, Starcruncher. With a spike jump, it's actually a wall jump off the wall, and just missing the spike's hitbox, because they can't hurt you if you're moving in the same direction they're pointing. At the end of every huge mess section, you have to talk to Mr. Oshiro again. He's that little character. You can actually tackle these 3 sections in any order, but speedrunners tend to have a set order in which they do it, just based on Oshiro's positioning at the end of each section. Just so you don't have to move through that big mess as often. So akbiggs, just now getting through that first huge mess bit, he's going to be entering to hit that first button, where Starcruncher has just hit his second button now, so he'll be moving on to the laundry 3rd section. Alright, AK hitting his first button there. That was done pretty competently. And Starcruncher just hitting his 3rd one. So he's basically done with huge mess now. He just has to grab that key and move on to the elevator shaft. AK taking a bit of a death there. Not a very bad one. That's a fun room in books. You just hyper past all those obstacles. Alright, nice elevator room by Starcruncher. Ooh, missed that lock switch, but recovers nicely. Some long rooms here in the elevator shaft section, so those deaths being punishing in long rooms definitely comes into play here. Alright, AK has hit his 2nd button, so he's moving on to laundry. Not that far behind, especially when you take into account the in-game timer. Alright, Starcruncher's screen right now. Oh wow, very perfect. 4 chained hypers across those platforms can get you across the room very quickly, and then he grabs the key and retries instantly to teleport back to the start of the room with the key. Those 4 hypers are actually a little harder than they look, because it's a very specific input, the amount you have to hold down the jump button for those. So. Alright, so AK entering the elevator shaft now, and Starcruncher is through the elevator shaft, and he's now on the rooftop being chased by Mr. Oshiro. So Oshiro is angry at this point, because we basically told him his hotel is a dump and we don't want to stay here. So he charges at you across the screen, locks onto your Y position and charges. You can bop on his head to get your dash back. Close call there by Starcruncher. Oh, AK doing some nice wall bounces to get through this room. Very nicely done. AK is now in the final Oshiro chase room. This is a really long room. Very, very punishing. He's doing alright so far. A death at the end of this room can be really disastrous. Very nicely done. So Starcruncher wraps up chapter 3, and AK taking a death there in that somewhat long room. Hopefully he can do it on his 2nd go. He'll be entering the Oshiro fight just momentarily. I think it's fair to say that Starcruncher has picked up a bit of a lead now, even disregarding the endgame timers. Moving very nicely through Oshiro so far. Starcruncher is now in Golden Ridge, Chapter 4. So this chapter is just no messes to clean up, no, shadow clones to chase you. This is just you against the mountain that you're trying to climb. So we have these clouds that act like trampolines. We have the bubbles, which basically are like, I don't know, they're like a DK barrel or something. It gives you a little extra dash in midair. And later on, there'll be moving platforms. AK moving quite nicely through these Oshiro rooms. That death there was not so bad because it happened right at the beginning of the screen. Alright. Starcruncher going for a spike jump there. He gets it. Very nice to get that a first try. And that double wall bounce to skip that auto-scroller. These moving platforms can basically act like auto-scrollers in this game in terms of the speedrun because they move pretty slowly and sometimes you're forced to use them. In this game, though, you can skip a good portion of a lot of them. Like, we're going to see Starcruncher's screen. He's going to go for an auto-scroller skip right now. Very nice. Extended hyper using the momentum from the block to give him extra speed, and then he just skips the whole second part of that auto-scroller. Alright, so AK has also just started Chapter 4, and he's moving very nicely through the beginning part here. Very nice Chapter 4 from both players so far, from what we've seen. Starcruncher has barely made any mistakes so far, so it's going to be a little hard for AK to catch up at this rate. We'll see. So here, Starcruncher's up to another big auto-scroller. This one can't really be skipped, not realistically, by a human. Oh wow, that was a close call way to shave off the last bit of that one. Oh, so that's cool. AK using a extended dash jump off of those clouds to skip the second cloud entirely. It looks like AK also going for that second little spike jump, and he gets it second try, so he still saves time over taking the intended route. So let's see, Starcruncher is now in cliff face. Very strong wind. It's hard to make any headway without dashing or using dash mechanics. Oh, very nice. AK just went for that same auto-scroller skip, and he got it first try, so very nice job. Some difficult rooms here in the cliff face for sure. AK doing Starcruncher doing quite well getting through those. Oh, he got caught up there, had to retry. So he's actually past the hardest of the rooms now, and he's entering the last screen right now. Unfortunate death by AK there. What he's doing there is a reverse extended hyper jump to clear some of that terrain. He actually missed the second one, but he was able to fall back onto the moving platform, so he didn't take a death. And Starcruncher has finished chapter 4, so he's moving on now to the Mirror Temple. Sort of the end of the mid-game, beginning of the end game. That transition here. Nice save by AK. Not quite a save, but just to shave off that last bit of that auto-scroller. Oh, and that was a nice save. Waiting for that disappearing block to come back, so he doesn't have to retry the room. Looks like AK was not able to get the cycle skip he was looking for there, but that's fine. So Starcruncher just did a neat little trick in this level. Normally you'd have to go to a room to the left and take a red bubble to the right, but he was able to do some tricky speed tech in order to get past that big spiked hallway. Oh, interesting. I usually don't see runners go for that. It's a little cutscene skip glitch that basically teleports his Y position. Oh, wow. Very cool skip right there by Starcruncher. A lot of more people are going for that now. There's a more complete form of it with a corner boost. Oh, is he going for double bubble skip? Did he get double bubble skip on the first try? Oh my god, that's ridiculous. That is an insanely difficult skip to get. Okay, that's pretty epic. akbiggs is almost finished now with Chapter 4, just on this last room. Not a particularly difficult room. Hopefully no commentator's curse on that one. So we can expect him to be joining Starcrunsher in Chapter 5 just about now. Alright, Starcrunsher in a bit of a nightmare sequence here. He gets to control a Seeker briefly. You can consider this to be a tutorial on how these Seeker mechanics work. They basically, when they see you, they'll start charging at you. They can charge very far. They can destroy red blocks, and they can kill you if they dash into you. So, akbiggs starting in Chapter 5 now, Mirror Temple. Oh, I also mentioned, I should mention Mirror Temple, another big feature is these dash blocks that move along quickly when you dash. So they're a lot like the traffic blocks in Chapter 1, except you kind of control when they move. Gives you some interesting ways to use them for momentum, like we just saw on Starcruncher's screen. Alright, here we get introduced to the first Seekers. So they're going to be charging at him as he tries to get through these this little gauntlet of lock switches. Worth noting here, as you just saw on Starcruncher's screen, the Seekers can activate those lock switches if they run into them, or if their respawn explosion gets them. So we'll be seeing some Seeker manipulation to try to knock them into the lock switches like we just saw. Very nicely done on the second try. I think, I'm not sure Starcruncher meant to hit that switch there. Because that made the rest of the room a little bit harder. He has to backtrack to get that lock switch. Okay, he got through it alright. Meanwhile, akbiggs is in this long horizontal bubble room, which is basically the lead up to the mirror. So he's going to be entering the same unraveling section now very shortly. Starcruncher now going for the biggest single time save in the game. He missed it on the first try. That's unfortunate. He just didn't quite get enough distance there. This movement here that he just pulled off on the second try saves about 2 to 3 minutes of time. So it is definitely the single biggest time save in the game. It's basically mandatory if you want to learn how to run this game. akbiggs is now entering Unraveling. He just went through the secret tutorial. So he's going to be going through that secret gauntlet shortly. He could possibly have a chance to catch up a little time here, because some of this Seeker movement, I think, was a little bit clumsy on Star's side. So we'll see how he does. Starcruncher is now in the Theo section, so she has to, Madeline has to escort Theo to the exit. You can't dash while you're holding Theo. Taking a couple deaths there. So what you had to do is dash, or do a hyper dash or a dash jump, and then after throwing Theo, and then catch him again in midair in order to get some good speed. So it makes the speed tech movement a lot more technical. Fairly hard to pull off. Ooh, nice save there. AK almost done with Unraveling now. Entering that last room now. Second to last room, I'm sorry, of Unraveling. Starcruncher did not get the big momentum boost he was looking for there, but he still managed to get through the room without dying. Alright, a pretty decent last room of Unraveling by AK. That looked a little faster than Star's, because the Seeker got that first coin for him. Actually, I'm not totally sure what happened there. I might have missed the actual strat he used. Alright, Starcruncher is about to finish up Chapter 5. As soon as he throws Theo into that eyeball, he's done. Very nice, basically first try search skip by AK. Technically his second try to do the command, but he didn't die, so still saving some time over AK there, over Star there. Ooh, a little accidental corner boost by AK made him mess up his later movements. Not a very big time loss, though. Starcruncher is now starting with Chapter 6, Reflection. Right away we see the first new mechanic of Reflection, which is these golden feathers that turn you into this golden ball that can travel omnidirectionally, lets you fly. Starcrunsher is going to be skipping late skip. Late skip is a pretty difficult skip that some runners have been going for recently. He's not going for it. It's totally respectable. It's not really worth it unless you can get it first try. akbiggs moving nicely through the Theo section here. I haven't seen any major mistakes. Nicely done there. Another feature of Chapter 6 is these Kevin blocks, Crusher blocks. If you dash into them on the side, they'll grumble at you and try to move towards you. So you can use those for a lot of momentum as well. Little bit dangerous. Wow. Very close save by AK. He dropped Theo there, so he didn't quite get in the position he wanted to. Let's see how he's going to react to that. Uh-oh. Wow, really cutting it close to the Seeker there, but he does get through the room without dying. Very nicely done. Starcruncher is now moving through the Hollows section. There is branching paths here. You can choose top or bottom in a lot of these areas. Most speedrunners will usually go top, except for the last room where we usually go bottom, just because it's usually seems to be a little faster that way. We just saw Star try to get a lot of momentum off that Kevin block, but he actually did his second dash too early, so it cancelled out the momentum from earlier, so he wasn't able to get all the way across. akbiggs has finished Chapter 5, so he'll be joining Starcruncher in Reflection. Honestly, this is still a pretty close race. Like, we're not really seeing like a runaway lead like we have with a lot of these other races in the group settings, which has a lot of lopsided matches. It will definitely be hard for AK to catch up at this point, but I wouldn't say it's out of the question. Alright, AK also electing not to go for Lake Skip. Probably a smart move. Lake Skip only saves time if you can get it within the first couple tries, and it's very tricky. Nice movement by both players. I have seen Starcruncher taking a couple deaths, so that is giving AK a bit of a chance to catch up if he can play this section very well. Starcruncher now out of Hollows. He's going to be now entering the ravine section, basically falling down towards the boss fight, the main boss fight of the game. So Starcruncher is taking these little developer-intended shortcuts through the spikes here. Very nicely done, first try. The first two, they have nice setups for them. The last one, there's no real good setup for it. You have to change your position while you're falling through the spike, so it's very tricky. I died on that last shortcut like 5 times in my race today, so I'm feeling a little salty about that. We might see Starcruncher go for a battle and boost here. He's setting up for it. Watch his screen now for some really epic speed. He got caught there right on the edge of at the end, but still pretty nice movement through that hallway. AK is making his way pretty quickly through Hollows. It's hard to follow both runners at once, but I haven't really seen much deaths from him, so he looks like he's doing pretty well here. We got our Hey Yas here on the bottom screen. We have the battle and fight. So this is basically, this is the same entity who was chasing you in Chapter 2, and now you're taking the fight to her instead. So basically trying to ram your face into her over and over again while she shoots lasers and fireballs at you. Surprisingly long fight. It really is very long. It doesn't seem quite as long when it's being speedrun. But there's a lot of screens to go through here, and there's a lot of places to mess up. So, Starcruncher doing a great job so far, and AK now is finishing up Hollows. Nicely done. So he'll be making his way through the same ravine. I'm not sure if we're going to see him go for the same little tiny shortcuts. Maybe we'll see him go for the first two, but not the last one. We'll see. Let's see if Starcruncher goes for that. Oh wow, that is really narrow miss there. Oh, looks like he got it. I actually missed it, but he got through that room so quickly that I have to assume that he went for the shortcuts. AK having a really great reflection so far, it seems. Alright, so Starcruncher is now in the last third of the battle and fight. Things get a little more dynamic now. We have... dashing right into that fireball. We have these moving blocks now that move back and forth on cycles. Sometimes we need to use the momentum. Like in this room, we'll need to use the momentum at the end to get up. AK has joined Starcruncher in the battle and fight, so Starcruncher near the end and AK closer to the beginning, but still definitely pretty close to each other. Very nice race. And Starcruncher taking some deaths again that AK has not yet. So I'm not sure I said the names right there, but there is definitely still hope for AK to catch up in this race. It's pretty exciting. Ooh, narrow call there, taking the safety option of just jumping over that laser, so he doesn't die in that last very long room. But he does get through the fight. Alright, Starcruncher now levels up. He has pink hair now. He can dash twice in the air before he has to land again. So that's cool. It gives a lot more freedom to your movement. And we're going to be seeing that used constantly in the last chapter, coming right up, Chapter 7, The Summit. AK having a little trouble there at the end of that room, but not dying, so all good. Oh, that was an interesting strat in that room. Very nicely done. Ooh, again, cutting it very close there. A lot of these battle line strats require you to really get like up close and personal in Battle Line's face just before she's about to fire a laser at you, so it's pretty stressful. Starcruncher has just begun the summit. So the summit is by far the longest chapter in the game. If you can beat the summit in 10 minutes, you're doing great. So basically the summit is kind of a rehash of all the previous chapters that we've gone through, starting with chapter 6 and then 1 through 5, as you basically have to reclimb the mountain that you fell down, but this time you can do it with 2 dashes at the same time. So here we see how this is like the callback to the Forsaken City section. So we have these traffic blocks again. We're going to need to use some of them to get up. Not that one though, just forget it. This one we need to use, yeah, using the momentum there. Starcruncher is having a great summit so far, so definitely it's going to be hard for AK to catch up at this point. AK is just about to get into the last room of the battle line fight though, so he'll be joining the summit soon. At the end of each of these summit sections, you're going to have these purple orbs you need to hit one at a time. They're basically battle line helping you out. Because after that fight that AK has just finished now, you basically make up and become friends, and now you're helping each other get to the summit. AK has leveled up, just making his way through the resolution of Chapter 6, and then he'll be joining the summit. So here we have 1,000 meters, the return of the dream blocks. As you might be able to tell, these Chapter 7 sections of each level are a good deal more difficult than the levels that they're mimicking. It's definitely sort of a final exam for the game. That was a neat little diagonal path through those dream blocks. As long as your hitbox is touching a dream block, you're considered to be still inside them, so you can go through those diagonal corners like that, even if it doesn't look possible. Starcruncher is now in the what most people consider to be the hardest part of the game, of the enemy scent run, the Chapter 3 section of Summit. We have the Dust Bunnies. Oh my god, that was a spicy cycle skip. That was really impressive. Getting through that really long punishing room with absolutely no problem. Watch this screen too. He's going for the triple ultra. Oh, it looks like he didn't quite enough. Oh, all right. He did get the triple ultra. Not exactly on the cycle that most people would want to get it on, but he managed to take that slowdown into account, and he finished that room off really nicely. So akbiggs entering is now in 500 meters, while Starcrunsher has just finished, is about to finish 1500. So AK about 1,000 meters behind, about 2 summit sections behind. Definitely pretty hard to catch up unless Starcrunsher really chokes. Starcrunsher in 2,000 meters, the Golden Road section, doing a little sneaky wall bounce at the beginning to get up into the berry route, which is a little bit faster than taking the intended route. AK just about to finish section 500 meters, and he'll be entering the dream block section. We might see probably we'll see Star try to go for a big auto-scroller skip here. There it is. Let's see if he got it. Looks like he got the distance, and now to finish it off, he needs that little wall bounce, and he got it first try. Very nice. Starcrunsher is really killing it in this summit. I will say, trying to figure out if he's on PB pace or not. I'd say it would be hard for him to get a PB, but it'll probably be close. AK is just finishing up now 1,000 meters, so he'll be entering that really difficult section, 1,500 meters. We'll see how he does. Starcrunsher had oh wow, a nice corner boost by Starcrunsher there. Starcrunsher had a really good 1,500 meters, so let's see if AK can do something similar. Still about 1,000 meters apart, these players. Of course, got to keep in mind the in-game time difference. Starcrunsher's in-game time is about 20 seconds ahead, which means that the lead that he has is 20 seconds less than it looks. Alright, so looks like AK taking a slightly slower route through that screen, but still getting through it without dying, so still very nicely done. The biggest time loss is to die. And AK also taking a death there, not going for the corner, the ultra strat. He's taking a couple deaths here. Alright, got through the first half. Ooh, he's having a tough room here. And he got through it, finally. Okay. that one is really nasty to get caught up in. Starcrunsher, you know, I missed a lot of really cool stuff on Starcrunsher's screen, I'm sure. There were a lot of really cool skips in 2,500 meters, so sorry for missing those, but he is now in 3,000 meters. This is the last segment of the game, so he'll be finishing up within a few minutes now. He actually could PB if he gets a really good 3,000 meters. He could definitely PB at this rate, I think. So let's hope he can get that. That would be really cool to see another PB, yet another PB in this tournament. So many people have been getting PBs. We might see one from AK as well. AK was not getting his dash back there like he wanted to the first couple tries, but he did get it. Long, very tricky snowball room on AK. Looks like he's taking the bottom route. Very nicely done. And it looks like he's going to go for the auto-scroller skip as well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's unfortunate. He jumped a little bit too late for the extended hyper, so he was not able to get the dash momentum added to his speed. And there, on that one, he He dashed and jumped a little bit too early, so he ended up hitting his head on the ceiling of the spikes there. And this looks like it's going to be it, though. He got it, let's try. And he got the wall bounce, so he's clear. So Starcrunsher, should mention, these little flags that he's hitting are checkpoints in these very long rooms, so that's nice. They are skippable, though, if you don't hit the flag, so you gotta watch out for that. He is now in the updraft section. He was previously in the downdraft, so the wind from Chapter 4 is back, but this time it's pushing up and down instead of left and right. So he already got through the part where it was facing down, and now he's in the part where it's blowing upward, so it basically gives him lower gravity, higher jumps, stuff like that. Ooh, taking a death right at the end of that flag 10. Skipping flag 9 entirely, flag 8 entirely. Save a little bit of time for a little bit of risk. AK now in 2,500 meters. It seems like he had some trouble there in 2,000 meters, unfortunately. So yeah, this is definitely Starcrunsher's game to win at this point. It's pretty hard, impossible to surpass at this point. But still, great race. Great showing by both winners. Oh, nice key skip, I believe I just saw by AK. I did miss the first part, so I'm not 100% sure he got the key skip, but I think he did. Where you basically do 2 neutral wall jumps, where it looks like you would be hit by spikes, but you just barely miss them. And you can avoid having to take a red bubble from the bottom room. Oh, very nice needle thread there by AK. That's a really tricky one to get on the first try. It looks like, oh, AK is going for door skip, which is a notorious skip. Starcrunsher just about to reach the summit. Oh, nice door skip there. And GG, Starcrunsher. He looks like he is going to be the winner of this race. As soon as AK's time hits 34:57, which is about to happen, it's basically impossible for it to win now. So GG's to Star. Oh, hold on. That was a PB. That was a PB by Starcrunsher. Awesome. Really, really cool. That was his first sub 35, I believe. PB by about 15 seconds. Very, very cool. So let's see, in terms of AK's big PB, he would have to have a pretty good 3,000 meters to do it, but it does look like it's still possible. His PB is 38:18, so we'll see if he can get through this 3,000 meters section quickly enough. So let's just see what his death count was. That's always fun to see. 26 deaths, 34:57. Really well played. Man, I remember when Starcrunsher used to be like my main competitor, when he had just beat my PB by like less than a second. Now he's like 2 minutes ahead of me. Really putting the pressure on. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and switch audio. Alright, let's see, AK now in updraft section. And he seems to be doing alright so far. I'm not too good at calculating PB chances from the middle of 3,000 like this, but I think it's still a possibility. Definitely will be hard though. But even if it doesn't get a PB, he'll get very, very close to it. Very difficult flag right here that he's on. This is probably the longest flag, basically meaning it is the most punishing if you die. He's doing it okay. The trickiest part is right at the end. Very nice. Taking a bit of a death there. It looks like he dashed in the wrong direction. Happens to everyone. So he has about 1 minute and 15 seconds to reach the top for a PB. Probably not going to happen. I'm hoping that I give him something like the opposite of a commentator's curse, where if I say it won't happen, then he'll manage to get it. Flag 6. Almost out of updraft. akbiggs now in the final screen of the game, the last 5 flags. Really close to PB, but it's just looking just a tiny bit out of reach. Still really well played, and we'll see. Watch him now. Let's cheer him on as he finishes his final 3 flags here. Ooh, a little misdirected dash there. Probably anticipating the second dash. Taking a few deaths there. Oi. Definitely a very tricky flag here, especially in the end of the summit when like your nerves are frayed. Alright, let's see if we can finish off this flag. Nicely done. And nice flag too. And that's pretty much the meat of the hard part of the summit. Let's see. Hopefully there are no bad incidents on flag 1. Very nice. Alright, so he's finished with a... Let's see what time that is. That's a 39:07. So yeah, honestly, a pretty decisive win there by Starcrunsher, who pulled off a really epic PB after getting already so many PBs this tournament. That guy's really a beast. GG to both runners. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the multi-stream audio because I'm getting a little bit of echo. I think maybe we could try doing what we do with the normal restreams and getting our folks in for an interview if they so choose to do. We could probably just do it with a Discord voice chat or something, if you guys want to try that. So just let me know. And that'll be pretty much that. So we'll see in a moment if these folks want to interview or not. All right. Let's see if I can get. I'm gonna start up a little Discord chat with these folks. I think first I would have to, let's see, first I'd have to get Starcrunsher. Oh, I'm not sure. I just tried to call AK. I'm not sure if he's actually wants to interview or not. I'm going to go ahead and send a friend request to Starcrunsher. Let's see. I just need to find him. There he is. Okay, sent a request to him. So, oh, in the meantime, I can go ahead and get akbiggs on the line. Oh, let me get that music back on a little bit. There we go. Hey, man. GG. Just trying to work out some mic issues. Yeah, man, I can hear you. Hey, man, how you feeling?
That was really exhausting.
Yeah, it can be, right? You did pretty well, man. You got within a minute of your PB. I mean, it's always a little bit disappointing to lose and not get a PB, but you did do a great showing there. So GG.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, I'm not too upset about not getting my PB. Like, it's a it's a whole other level of pressure compared to when you're on these level. So it's like natural. Like, you can't be too upset over it, and it's good to get better performing under nerves too.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of the run, especially when it comes to summit. Like even if you're not in a race scenario, like when you get up to summit and you're like doing pretty well on good pace, those nerves can really get in the way of playing well. You did great, man. So let's see. How far along in your group matches are you?
So right now I've done 3 out of there are 7 people in our group. One of them had to drop out. 3 to 6. I've lost all of them so far, but I've taken my PB from like 46 minutes.
Oh, apologize. I just tried to get Starcruncher on the line too, and it ended up canceling my earlier call. That was my bad. Let me just try to get both of these folks in one call. Let's see. How the heck do I add people? Oh, apparently I need to be friends with AK2 to start a group DM. So if you could go ahead and accept that friend request, I'll be able to start a group call just shortly. Oh, I hope that AK's sound was better there at the end. I turned up my desktop sound again. Alright, I'm adding Starcruncher now.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back, AK, and hey, Starcruncher. GG, congrats on your win and your PB. Really, really cool.
Thank you.
So you must be feeling pretty good now, Star.
Yeah, especially with that summit.
Oh, was that a particularly bad summit for you, or?
That was my best summit by over 30 seconds.
Oh wow, okay. Really cool to get a
Almost
clutch summit at the
45
end.
seconds.
Really nice.
Yeah.
That's great. So, I'm not great at this interviewing thing. Anything, any of you guys want to mention?
Yeah, so I guess I'm like totally blind from my side. So what was your end time, Starcruncher?
34:57.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that sub 35, coming somewhat unexpected. Well, that can't not unexpectedly, but 15-second PB. And Stars, you've already been PBing a lot in this tournament, right?
Yeah, I started with 37.9, I guess, something around that time. So.
How many of your races so far have been a PB?
3 of them.
3 out of.
3 out of 6.
Oh man, that is a really really great PB rate. So it seems like you're probably on track to head into the brackets, I'm assuming.
I guess so, yes.
And based on your time, I'm not sure, AK, do you think you'll be making it to the brackets?
I don't know, it's hard to say at this point. Like, I've lost 3 out of the 6 matches that I have so far. If I can win the next 3, like, I've taken my PB from about, like, 46 minutes from the first match to about, like, 38 now.
Very nice, yeah.
So...
38 is definitely good enough, I think, to get into brackets, depending on how your races go. Did you have your toughest races at the beginning?
So, yeah, I definitely, yeah, one of them was around, like, a 40-minute race, and I think there's another guy in my pool who has, like, a 37 or 38 PB. You have to keep improving to like, make it a bracket here, so I'll have to pull off an upset in that case.
Okay, good luck on that. We're all rooting for upsets and cool stuff to happen in these races. Yeah, the pressure is really on in this tournament. I'm really feeling it myself. Every day I check, and my spot on the Celeste leaderboard has moved down a few places.
People are improving so quickly, and the tournament's been really good. Like, it gives me something to work towards as well.
Yeah, it's been great for that, and also like just drumming up like general interest in this great game and getting a lot of new people involved. It's really been like a nice shot on the arm for the community, even more so than SGDQ was, and that was already pretty big.
Yeah, like normally I focus a lot on the world. Like before the tournament, I focused a lot on the world record, and it seemed just like impossible to go from like 55 minutes or an hour to like to there. But when it's like, okay, I have someone to beat who's like at 45 minutes, achievable, and I can sort of take it like step by step accordingly. So it helps with improvement a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks to both of you guys for putting on a great show. Let's see, any last words?
Thank you for commentating.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad we were able to figure out a way to get the commentating on, even though there was no official restream. I think this worked out pretty well, despite some kind of audio balance issues at the beginning. So, thanks to both of you guys, and
Thanks, man.
thanks to all the watchers. Follow the runners. You can follow me if you feel so inclined. Let me just go ahead and put your Twitch is into chat so people can do the right thing and follow you guys for racing your hearts out. And I guess that'll pretty much wrap it up. So, thanks everyone. And definitely keep an eye on SpeedGaming for more Celeste coming up. There's going to be Celeste going on, and other cool SpeedGaming stuff for well into the next couple of months. Alright. I guess that'll be it. Bye now.
See ya.